For the first time in more than 50 years, Congress holds a hearing on unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. You probably know them as UFOs.
The report to Congress details in detail various UAPs, including spheres, orbs, discs, saucers, ovals, triangles, boomerang, arrowhead, and irregular organic.
Some reports say Colorado is one of the top states for UFO sightings. There's even a UFO watchtower in southern Colorado near Sand Dunes National Park.
Tiny town here in Colorado is made up of just over 500 people. West Cliff, in conjunction with neighboring town Silver Cliff, is the first ever international dark sky community in Colorado.
Many years ago, my brother and I were traveling south, and this enormous, must have been a coyote, shot across the highway, but it was as big as a horse. And it was very unusual because this thing did not gallop like a horse. It must have been a coyote because it was gray, but the size of it was just like the size of a banquet table. The San Luis Valley is a huge area. It's 8,000 square miles big. We're bigger than the state of Connecticut. We're also one of the oldest parts of the United States. This borderlands area between Colorado and New Mexico, that goes back 500 years of continual culture, and for Native American culture goes back thousands and thousands of years. The hot spot for unexplained phenomenon that is generated here, I think, comes from the vastness of the open space that we have, the clarity of our skies. We have a military presence here in the San Luis Valley as well. Maybe some of the UFO sightings or different phenomenon like that is connected to military testing here. Possibly you could even speculate that past the sand dunes there might be a back door to NORAD. There could be a tunnel that goes under the Sangre De Cristo mountains. With relation to the dark sky environment up there, it's a special designation, and you're very far away from big city lights, and you're very high up in altitude. So on a clear moonless night, you can literally reach out and touch every star in the Milky Way and see every galaxy beyond that. If you've been in town for more than 5 minutes, you understand that we're all about farming and ranching.
I have a mushroom farm here in Saguache with my wife Danielle. I just can't explain why these light patterns are the way they are. They look like stars, but they're moving in a way that are definitely not satellites and clearly aren't stars because they're moving in patterns. And this being kind of a dark sky park area, you can see a lot more than you can see in other places. I've specifically lately seen a lot of orbs. Sometimes they'll shoot across my field of vision really fast. Sometimes they'll float around in my field of vision. And the amount of drone activity I've seen down here recently has been really crazy. They're very well hidden in the sense that they look like planes. They have very similar light patterns that are on them, but when you look closely, they're moving way too slow to be planes. A lot of people have talked about extraterrestrial bases, and there are even a lot of man-made bases within the mountains. Personally, I've always been interested in the sand dunes, which sits right at the base of Mount Blanca. And the sand dunes are just really interesting to look at. One, because it seems like it's an anomalous thing that shouldn't be there. I have seen what can only be described as sprite lights. If you talk to people that live in the Sangres, they're pretty common. Very hard to explain. It seems as though it's very specific around Mount Blanca that it happens though. Every time that I try to intentionally watch Mount Blanca, I can typically see something moving that I can't really explain in terms of lights and orbs.
Crestone is one of those high, vibratory places where the continental divide intersects the great rainbow serpent ley line. This entire Sangre De Cristo range is a dragon. The head of the dragon is Mount Blanca. The throat of the dragon is the sand dunes. Crestone is at the heart of the dragon, and the root is Poncha Pass. The place that makes this special is the mountain. It's the convergence of heaven and earth, and it's here. That means many different things to many different people. In the highest realms, you can consider those to be like the angelic realms. And so there's many different dimensions. And so, first, second, third is our physical bodies, fourth is our intelligence, fifth is all life and nature, six is love, seven magic, and it goes on and on and on. And you eventually get up to the heavenly realms, which is 13th dimension, and that's the angelic realms. So in this location, in this place, those dimensions have converged. And so what we have in the heart of the dragon, we have a convergence of all of those dimensions into a single unity field of consciousness, and it's profound. The convergence that's happening way high on the mountains at 13 and 14,000 feet, as that convergence happens, it kind of creates multi-dimensional eddies around the different areas. So people will have mystical experiences, like they'll be hiking and they'll see like a person that's not of this world, that's maybe something from the past. When you come here, whatever your intention is magnified. So if you want to come here and see UFOs, you will. And so if you're clear and you're in tune and you're balanced, you'll have a wonderful experience.